In this video, let's see whether we can use if-var and guard-var. So we're very much used to if-let and guard-let, but I think most of the iOS developers are not aware like there is something called if-var and guard-var, and these also we can use in our programming. So usually when there is an optional to bind it, we use if-let or we use guard-let and we bind it like this, correct? But with the Swift 5.7 they made it very short and we can directly bind it like this. So this is also possible with the Swift 5.7. so I'm just doing a return just to avoid the. So this is what we know, but if-var and guard-var also available, and we can pretty much use those if we need to change this inside this if condition or in this outside of this guard scope. So let's see how we can do that. For example, let's see, I have a function called greet, not a great example, but just to showcase whether we can use it or not, which takes optional as string. And what we need to do is, if I'm not using let, I'm using var. If name is having a value, I need to manipulate it, I need to prefix it with hi. Now I just do string interpolation and change the name to by prefixing hi to the name. If, as you can see, I'm able to change the value of the name because of if-var. There are no compile errors or warnings, correct? Now what I do, I just print name and return it. For example, if the name is coming as nil, then I would say just hi and user. So let's try this function. First passing nil, let's see what it comes. Why? Because as I have passed nil value, if it will not go to the if-var, it will return hi user. Now let me pass some name, let's say some Alex, and let me pass this. Now it prints hi Alex. That means if-var, using if-var also we can do what we are doing is nothing but optional binding with var. So this is possible. Now if I want to do the same thing with the guard, what I would do, I would just interchange the piece of code. For example, guard name, and obviously this comes outside, and as guard is early written, this comes inside. It's as simple as that. That's the difference between if-let and guard-let, or if-var and guard-var. Now pretty much, of course, guard needs an else statement, that is why it was giving a compile error. Now pretty much the output is same. As it is having a value, it went here and name got appended because it is a variable, not a let. Now if I pass nil, obviously it will go to here and it will print hi. So based on your situations, based on your use cases, we can use if-var and guard-var. If we need like in the optional binding, if you we need the optional binding, and if you want to edit the value also, for example, here I need the optional binding and I want it to be mutable. Of course, mutables are not good. We always need to take the immutable values, but if the use case is like that, you need optional binding as well as a mutable value, then we can use if-var and guard-var. So this is very important with respect to interview point of view. It's a tricky question, so we can use if-var and guard-var also if asked. I hope this post is useful. Thank you.